Hi YouTube, it's Livery here. Zulu Golf India is a H135 Airbus helicopter. We'll be departing from Sydney today, heading down Sydney Harbour, Parramatta River, and then crossing up into the Blue Mountains. We'll do a little bit of a reconnoitre around the Three Sisters near Katoomba, and then we'll head on back, probably via the Sydney Harbour. That is assuming all these clouds and any rain stays away. We do need to get up to about 3,500 feet over the mountains. Full air traffic control today, so if you're flying the normal milk run, you'll probably find yourself with a whole bunch of ATC ready to go. We'll get the old that thing ready. So I think you've got ground tower, city departures, city approach, city director, Melbourne approach, Canberra tower, Wollongong, Snowy, Eldon Weir, Binduk. So you've got like 2, 3, 4 Melbourne centres between here and there. You've also got Melbourne tower, departure, approach. Yeah, so if you find the full normal milk run today, hats off to you. You've got heaps of ATC down there. Anyway, we're just going to be hanging around the city basin today. Over the weekend, we had the new update to Microsoft Flight Simulator that kind of broke a few add-ons. It did temporarily break the helicopter, but it is working again, so it's nice to have it back. The CJ4 is working mostly okay. There is 1 or 2 aspects about the Navigraph charts that are an issue at the moment. That's the main reason I didn't take that. Issue since the update, holding the right mouse button to pan. Yes, that happened. So the only way to pan at the moment is middle click, and that locks the panning view, and that's fine. You can move the controls and all that, and then unclick. If you use the right mouse button, all your controls don't respond to you. I mean, autopilot is fine, but you know, maneuvering the stick or the rudder pedals, that'll freeze while you don't have any control while you've got the right mouse button down. So don't use the right mouse button at the moment. Use middle button and do that. Anyhow, this aircraft, Zulu Golf India, normally belongs in Mackay. We're going to pretend it belongs down here in Sydney. I guess it'll be these guys here, Blue Orb helicopters. A couple of other helicopters over there, even an H135, just like us. Anyhow, let's jump in. So we're going to open up some doors. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of, you know, external inspections you need to do on a helicopter. I've never flown a helicopter as a, well, I've flown as a passenger twice in a chopper. There goes a very interesting aircraft. Runway 07 for departures apparently, so that's going to be kind of tough to deal with. In fact, it may even change the route that we should be doing. Let's think about that for a second, because they're using runway 07. I thought they were using 25s and 34s, but 07 for departure means my departure, well, we can't really do the barracks. We can't do the barracks arrival with 07 departure. Interesting. Might be able to do the Maroob. Nah, that's not even good. Banks would be okay. Yeah, we might even have to change my flight plan for coming back. At the moment, we're going to be crossing the runway, heading straight up here into the railway, then we'll follow the railway line to Central Railway Station, then cross on to Darling Harbour, which is on the western side of the bridge. Then we'll continue down the west side along the Parramatta River, so that should be okay. Coming back, I think we should probably do the same, because they're using runway 34s for arrivals and 07s for departures. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, because I was expecting to come back via the Banks arrival, which puts you straight down the middle of runway 07's centre line on the final approach on the chopper, and that's not going to be fun for the ACC. I'll probably avoid that. In fact, I'm just going to refile now, so we come in via GVB, HVB, and then Erskine 5 inbound. File it that way. Cool. Alright, we'll assume we've done our walk around. Let's get everybody in. Welcome aboard. How are you doing? Close the big back doors. Rotor brake is in. I'm going to release that now. And go to the overhead. On the overhead, we'll want the batteries on and the standby battery on. Going to run the fire tests. That's this bank of yellow and red lights here. With that done, look at this new blade. So I think the update for the helicopter came maybe 2 or 3 days ago. If you haven't had the update yet, make sure you get it. You'll know if you don't have the current version because the old ones don't work in the new sim. Anyhow, we want to throw some fuel into the engines. We're going to turn on some lights, including the strobe for the start. Cabin lights are in, emergency exit lights are on, instrument lights are on. Make sure that your headsets are in and plugged on. Things are about to get loud. And we have the GTN 750s installed below there. We're going to use that to stick in a bit of flight plan. That's one engine running. We'll start number 2. Number 1, really. So it's a 2-engined helicopter. To a good start. Primers off. Main fuel tanks on. Avionics are on. EMS is on. Inverter is in. Static and pitot heat is on. Auxiliary tank is not required. All those lights are in, and the fuzz burn is not required. We're going to sit on idle while we file the flight plan. While that happens, going to get into the EFB. And check out our flight plan. So going to be visual for the first part of the plan. I said stay in that thing. SSY. Sydney is our first position. Destination's also Sydney. And en route waypoint. First one is going to be Gleysville Bridge, which is GVB. The one in Australia. After GVB, we're heading all the way down that river to Parramatta, PRT. One in Australia. From Parramatta River, PRT, we're going to Prospect, PSP. One in Australia. After PSP, we are continuing westbound to the Lighthorse interchange. That's LHR. One in Australia. From Lighthorse, we're going to the Nepean Bridge, NPBR. That's in Australia. And the next one is Kadom, which is essentially Katoomba. Nope, that's wrong. LHR's wrong as well. Strange. Let's remove that. Kadom looks to be right. Interesting. Let's zoom that out here. Yeah, that's correct. That's Katoomba. Cool. Kadom stays. What's the Nepean Bridge? We'll visually go there. Oh no, PSP. Lighthorse interchange was the one that missed. LHR. Is there anything else after that? No, can't tell it. Oh, we'll just visually. It's where the M7 and the M5 touch each other. From Kadom, we'll essentially do it in reverse. So NPBR. Nepean Bridge down to Parramatta. And then I think it's Harbour. Nope. Gleysville Bridge after that. So GVB. And I think we don't even need this one, but I'll chuck it in just because. The Harbour Bridge. We might even go into the Harbour Bridge if we have enough time. Do a orbit over the top and then inbound via barracks if we can get barracks. If they don't let us do barracks, then we'll come back out of the R405. So inbound, we'll request to transition the Harbour Bridge into the harbour. We'll do a couple of laps and then we'll come back down to 500 feet, re-enter at Darling Harbour. And then we'll join the Erskineville inbound, which essentially tracks via Central train station down to Erskineville train station, and then overhead the Sanford Hotel, which is right about there, and then crossing runway 07 when they give us the options. Just going to flick that through. We're still on idle, we are disconnected, and Gen 1 needs some help, apparently. Gen 1's in. Everything else is fine, we'll just need to contact Sydney. 1250, no, 1205. And flick that around to 12, I'm guessing it's going to be 1244 or 1230. Yeah, it'll be 1230 for this side. Flight plan. Cool. Yeah, we can program it there as well. It would be useful to, yeah, stay in that page for a little bit. Why am I not getting that option? I lost. Having some issues with my press to talk button. Trying to figure out some way of getting one assigned. There's it. Cool. Fixed. Yeah, I saw the new Katoomba scenery. I haven't purchased it because it seems a bit of a silly airport to throw $5 at. Because, you know, it's effectively closed in the real world right now. Anyway. Sydney Tower, Zulu Golf, India, helicopter on helipad 8 is requesting clearance via the Erskineville departure.
Zulu Golf, India, cleared via the Erskineville 5 departure. Report ready. Squawk 4456, report ready to lift.
Squawk 4456 and Wilco, Zulu Golf, India.
Sydney Tower, good evening, velocity 532, ready.
Velocity 532, Sydney Tower, good evening. Contact departures airborne, runway 07 clear for takeoff.
Departures airborne 07, cleared for takeoff, velocity 532.
Let's run the engines. And trim is released. What I do want to do is put in a altitude of 1,000 feet. That's done. Altitude assignment disconnected. Autopilot is off. Technically it's for helicopter pilots because at the moment the only place, and the thing is that allowed to land at Katoomba at the moment are choppers. They're not allowed to use the runways for real aircraft. If you look at information about the airfield, it's all there. Let's grab ATIS 12625.
Tower Delta Romeo Sierra is ready in set. Delta Romeo Sierra, Tower good night.
Oh, that's not working. Never mind. Cool. Alrighty, we're ready to hover taxi down to the thingo.
Contact 2 runway 07 on upper point. On it.
Click question mark. What's that?
Velocity 1220.
Sydney Terminal Information Alpha.
Ah, there we go. Oh,
Expect independent visual.
Runway 7 ready.
Just 523, Sydney Tower, good day.
I'll stick EFB over there.
5562, contact departures, airborne, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
There it is.
Clear for takeoff, 07.
We will begin our hover taxi.
Delta Romeo Sierra behind the departing 737, runway 07, line up and wait.
Behind the departing 737, line up runway 07 and wait behind Delta Romeo Sierra.
Delta Romeo Sierra, your assigned heading will be left 270.
Left heading 270, Delta Romeo Sierra.
Taxiing down to the pad now. Nice stately speed.
Delta Romeo Sierra, caution wake turbulence, contact departures airborne, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
Roger, clear for takeoff runway 07, Delta Romeo Sierra.
Just 523, runway 07, line up and wait.
Line up 07, just still 523.
Yes, certain helicopters do indeed sound great when you apply throttle. I do like them. I saw Hems 5 take off yesterday when I was out at Warragamba.
Just 523, contact departures airborne, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
Departures airborne, runway 7 clear for takeoff, just still 523.
Velocity 1221, behind the departing H320, runway 07, line up and wait behind.
Sydney Tower helicopter Zulu Golf India is ready for liftoff at helipad 1.
Zulu Golf India, clear the left hold position.
Good left hold position, Zulu Golf India.
Velocity 1221, contact departures airborne, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
Getting a lot of this kind of pink coloured stuff on the since the update. A lot of the repaints aren't, you know, they're just coming up with this weird pink stuff everywhere. Something to do with LOD textures.
Golf India, clear to take off, contact the passengers 123.0, good day.
Go for lift off and 123.0 after departure, Zulu Golf India.
Target A uniform Yankee X-ray holding course at Alpha 07 ready.
Uniform Yankee X-ray, runway 07, line up on weight.
Line up and wait, runway 07, uniform Yankee X-ray.
So, there we go, there's the Stanford Hotel, straight over the top. And then over to...
Uniform Yankee X-ray, contact the passengers airborne, runway 07, clear to take off.
Departures 1230.
21 transponder 3610.
3610.
Sydney departure is helicopter Zulu Golf India is via the Erskineville 5 departure.
Zulu Golf India departures, sorry, Saitek.
How about the Erskineville 5 departure passing 800.
Zulu Golf India departures are identified.
So found the railway line. Now we just need to follow that up to Central Station.
Roughly 1221 Columbine, this flight level 280.
Climbing to 1,000 feet. Once we get to Central, we sink back down to 500 feet when we enter Darling Harbour. At Darling Harbour, we should be at 500. Ah, someone's running a, what's that thing, Metroliner Swaringen Metroliner 4 SW4. I love those airplanes. I also hate them. Should be fun. That there is Central Station right under us.
Uniform Yankee X-ray departures, g'day, identified.
And that there is Darling Harbour. So run between these two, as I said, need to be at 1,000 feet, sorry.
Uniform Yankee X-ray cancel speed restrictions.
And now we sink down to 500. Hello Paul Newman, hope you're well. Yes, welcome to the lockdown.
India, remain clear of Romeo 405 Alpha and Bravo.
And there's Burragorang over there. And there's 500.
Zulu Golf India, remain clear of Romeo 405 Alpha and Bravo, and confirm your climb to 1000.
Remain clear of the Romeo 405 Victor, Zulu Golf India, okay.
Roughly 1221, confirm your traffic to Wollongong.
And we're into the Parramatta River.
Roughly 1221,
This is an interesting effect.
Uniform Yankee X-ray, climb by flight level 280.
Didn't see that before the update. The king of ATC.
562.71
Who's that?
3 decimal 0.
Definitely not me. Is it this dude? The ATC guy. Sydney, what's he, departures? Yeah, it's departures.
Sydney departure, g'day, Jetstar 764, climbing through 2,200 for 5,000.
It's fun flying the chopper.
64 departures.
There's something very hands-on about it. You don't get from the big airliners.
Collect center 125 decimal 0, g'day.
Airliners are fun too, but this is a different kind of fun. Tracking down at 500 feet down the river. Me? I'm not the king of ATC. Not even close, man. I'm the king of reading back things wrong and not hearing myself. That's what I do. Like, Mr. Your call sign, what are you doing? What was that? Did you call me? I wasn't listening. I just get by. I'm not particular. I've seen that little meme going around. It's like a little sticker that says "World's okayest pilot." I'm one of those. Kind of okay. Maybe. As long as we're having fun on Vatsim, that's what counts.
Departure Jetstar 764.
Jetstar 764, yep, well, I see you. Jetstar 764, reconnect direct to Warragamba, climb plus 280.
Remember the first time I come up here and I was pointing out all these random landmarks, and this time I'm
Little
just
left,
like,
direct
let's
to
just keep on
Warragamba
flying.
and climb flight level 240.
Oh, the Rudolph? Yeah, this is Sydney Harbour, or in the Parramatta River now. So. But Sydney Harbour's behind us, and we'll probably come back to it in about an hour from now.
And departure uniform Yankee X-ray.
Can't remember which bridge that is, but it's past Gladesville, I'm pretty sure.
G'day, FedEx 6079 1312.
FedEx 6079 departure, g'day, identified, cancel speed restrictions.
Cancel space, FedEx 6079.
Delta Romeo Sierra, connect center 1250, g'day.
It was Gladesville, and that's the runway bridge right there.
125.0, Delta Romeo Sierra.
We're past GVB.
Jetstar 764, cancel speed restrictions below 130,000.
Okay, we don't need
Cancel
to...
speed restrictions, Jetstar 764.
Yeah, like we don't need to navigate using the GPS. Imagine flying this thing IFR in cloud. That would be a handful. Yeah, that's right. Listen to ATC, know what they're saying.
Center 125.0, g'day.
Unlike me, which completely missed that last transmission because I was talking. I can't talk and listen at the same time. That's my problem. I'm either talking or listening. Is that James Roos Drive? I'm not sure. I think the next one's James Roos Drive. Fortunately, my knowledge of Sydney isn't required to that detail for this flight. We just need to follow the river until we get to Parramatta. And I know where Parramatta is. It's where that big tall building is up ahead. Then after that we need to cross over the Prospect Reservoir by
6079
essentially tracking west until we see a big lake, and then after that we just track straight at the mountains.
The departure stable C9001 passing 2,300 km 5000. What's the 9001?
I think that's dangerous drive there. Yeah, that's dangerous drive. That's a bridge I've been across many a time in the car. Anyway, that's Parramatta. We can go ahead and climb up to 1,500 now. That's the main reason I was waiting for that,
correction,
that location.
79, cancel speed restrictions below 1,000.
So that we can climb. Is that the stadium?
That's a FedEx Express 79.
FedEx Express 79, roger. Cancel speed restrictions below 1,000.
Cancel speed FedEx Express 79.
And yep, that's fine. I'm going to chuck in altitude mode but take the autopilot out. So now we can, I'm using the bump trim button to set the altitude. But we have the autopilot off, so I'm still using the stick to fly with. I'm going to point myself west. Going to get ourselves up to 1,500, and after that we're going to establish a nice 120 knots. I'm now wanting to track kind of towards Prospect at 1,500. Actually, I want to be under 1,500 because all the SNESs are going to be plugging over that at 1,500. So it's probably better to be maybe halfway between 1,000 and 1,500 somewhere. 1,200. Or maybe 1,000.
901, cancel speed very clear direct to Wollongong.
Cancel speed direct to Wollongong, velocity 9001.
Now it's a good idea to be just to the south side of the lake, and then we'll track around the lake. We'll try to find the water pipeline that tracks between there and the dam, Warragamba. Thank you, Paul Newman. West Bank Stadium. That's possibly a new one that wasn't there when I lived in Sydney back in 2006.
C9001, climb by 6 flight level 280.
Flight level 280, velocity 9001.
I have of course been back to Sydney since then. I was last in Sydney in February. And I was meant to be there last month, but COVID happened. And they're still in lockdown over here. It's August already. What was it? 207 cases? Something like that. Not doing particularly well there in Sydney at the moment, which is a pity.
768, Clark, Center 125 days. Very good.
Okay, we're at Prospect. With Sydney departure, yeah, that's fine.
Set for Jetstar 764.
Jetstar 764, roger, connect Center 125 dash 0, good day.
124.0.
If we had to auto-rotate, we'd just land on that nice little grass embankment there. Up to now we would have been landing in a river. Hi there, Patrick. A lot of factors got me to move to Melbourne. Kind of a combination of things that all happened at the same time. Made Melbourne the place to be. Give me a second. Need to come off Facecam for a sec. And we're back. Past Prospect, we can climb again. Looking for the water pipeline.
Good. Control notifications, have it over. Main respect, deposit.
I'm not sure if we'll go in lockdown again. I fear that we will, but you know, Who knows?
Zulu Golf India Center. Correct. Zulu Golf India departures.
Zulu Golf India.
Zulu Golf India control and identification determined. Correction control. No reported traffic.
Zulu Golf India, copy. No private IFR traffic or VFR traffic either. We're outside controlled airspace now.
Zulu Golf India, just confirm your tracking direct KDM at this.
Nose bag. Oh, just moved past.
Zulu Golf India departure.
Zulu Golf India, sorry.
Zulu India, just confirm your tracking direct KDM at this.
Affirmative, KDOM and about 3,000 feet. Zulu Golf India.
And Zulu Golf India, just Jigsaw's gas climb. Can you just let me know your next few waypoints after that?
Oh, after that we'll be doing circles around visually the Three Sisters and then returning via Prospect and Glacial Bridge.
Zulu Golf India, right. Also,
Morty Alec. Yeah, I know Morty Alec.
FedEx 6079, connect center 125, Zero, g'day.
135, yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say before I was rudely interrupted by air traffic control. We had something important to say. Yeah, I went out to Bacchus Marsh, the little airfield there.
9001, connect center 125.
Flew the 150. I'm sure I'll make a video of that at some point. Flew from Bacchus Marsh to Lethbridge, and then Lethbridge up to what's the place called there? Woonamble, then the 12 Apostles, and came back over near Geelong. is quite happy. I can see the Penrith Lakes over there. I'm pretty sure that's the Western Freeway. And since it is the Western Freeway, we're going to have to like straddle it for a little while because we're about to come up to the restricted zone. Let's see where that is. Don't have it ready. There it is. Yep, if we stick right on the Western Freeway, we'll be fine. That zone's right there. Okay, cool. Video was recorded yesterday, so it's still in the cameras. Hasn't even made it to my hard drives yet. And then I'll have to edit the thing. But yeah, there's video coming. Probably give it a week or two. I need to sacrifice a weekend to it. There's that intersection of two roads. And then we'll head up towards Nepean Bridge, which is visible now. Come. So dropping along at 125 knots. I think we'll get up to about 130 at most. That seems to be about as fast as we can go. 128, 129. Yeah, we file for 130. It's not too bad. So this is Penrith. And just over the river is Emu Plains. Yeah, Penrith ain't bad. That's the big bridge. I think that's the new flood-proof bridge, which got flooded recently in March. We've built a new flood-proof bridge. 2 months later, it's underwater. Okay, there's the Western Freeway going down that way. We don't need to contour fly it, but it does eventually head up there. And so will we. Blue Mountains, here we go. Hoping the Blue Mountains Three Sisters scenery works well. Hope it doesn't crash the sim or anything silly. So I didn't test it. There's a whole bunch of new stuff that is not working on the sim. There's the freeway and the railway right next to it as well. Kind of zigzagging its way up the mountain. Passing Blacksland, Valley Heights, Springwood, Falcon Bridge. If you've ever taken the train up to the Blue Mountains, you probably will have recognised some of those names. Linden, Hazelbrook, Woodford, and then Katoomba. I think we'll cut the corner here. There's 3,500, that's where I want to be. Yep, the beautiful Blue Mountains. Next time I come up to Sydney, and I'm sure there will be a next time because my parents still live there, I will have to visit the Blue Mountains. That said, I'll probably also want to visit the Opera House again. I enjoyed the last time. Still got a couple of friends in Sydney. When you're in a helicopter and you suddenly realise, where would we auto-rotate if we failed now? Well, right there. What about down that hill? No, that's the Badlands down there. So I'll go ahead and complete this crossing. If I need to auto-rotate right now, I'd probably hit that. In a few seconds I'd go to those houses on that little line there. You don't want to go any faster than 135 knots because that's getting pretty close to blade retreat stall. Basically, if you go into that red line, because your blade is spinning around, the blade that's going backwards doesn't get enough lift. So you'll kind of very sharply start to spin in that direction. And that is an effect that this helicopter does simulate. Paul Newman used to live in the Blue Mountains. Cool. I just lived on the coastline, really. Down in Sans Souci. If it is auto rotate, landing on the road's a bad idea. Just putting it out there. It's a pretty busy road. Wouldn't want to put a helicopter in. That little spot there right next to our door will be fine.
Osage City, 10 information Bravo, just going up, 1 change to the wind, 040 degrees, 15 knots, cross to maximum 15 knots.
Might show that effect off later, once we're completed our tour of Katoomba. How close are we to Cadom? Yeah, still a fair way to go. This aircraft naturally wants to descend at 65 knots if you're in an auto rotation. So at 65 knots you keep enough forward speed to essentially keep the rotor going. It's a nice and easy to remember number because it's the same as the best glide speed in a Cessna 172. So what's your best glide in a 172? 65 knots. And what happens if an engine fails on a H135? Well, 65 knots. Same thing. Settling in at 3,500. There's a couple of nice footy fields and that kind of thing just off to our right there. Is that Hazelbrook? Can't tell if that was Hazelbrook or Wentworth Falls, am I? How close are they? Pretty close. I reckon it's, yeah, I reckon that was Hazelbrook. We should have a peel off to the right and then another sharp left. It's going to sneak up to 4,000 feet here. And we'll descend into the valley. That's going to be Katoomba over there. I think it'll just pop out a little bit. We'll probably use the auto hover to get some good shots once we're in position outside the Three Sisters. It's that way over there, isn't it? It's not there. That's them. Got them in sight. Just encountering a little bit of cloud. Let's get out of it. And I'll start to slow down a bit now too. That's the thing about helicopters, you can slow down to a stop if you really want to. I know there's a cable car somewhere around here. I think it's out of there, isn't it? So I just need to make sure that we don't touch any cables, because that would be bad. The Three Sisters. Why GTC isn't working up here, but it's not. Have to throw the autopilot away. Turner Sim Sports, how you doing? Three Sisters, Katoomba Beyond, waterfall right there. Pretty sure that there's a cable car that drops in from just about there over across the waterfall up to a point up here somewhere. Yeah, I've spotted where the cable car departs from, just there. So we're nice and clear, out of the way.
Just that Mark 10 on the go around, we have a gear issue. Just 510, Roger. What do you need? I'd like to try again. For approach, we'll try and go for a gravity extension. Just 510, Roger, flight heading 340, climb to 5,000. 340.
I'll settle down to about 3,500, we're almost there. We'll go for 600. And we'll come up to a dead stop. A couple of seconds. There we are. spin around to show the other half of the helicopter. How you guys doing over there? Slow acceleration. Yeah, that Phoenix A320 is looking pretty good.
It's a 510, turn right, heading 060, climb to 6,000. Right,
Hold back off.
6,000, just up 510. Just a flight 10, runway 34 right, expect independent visual approach. Visual expect independent visual approach 15, back mission 34 right now, down to 510.
Back up to 4,000 so we can cross the ridge properly. Doing some piloting things. And so the guys over that side of the aircraft should have a good view. We're assuming we're full of tourists. At least we got him on board. There's the cable car. Money shot.
Just that 510, turn right, heading 150. 150, just on 10.
Other aviator, I hope you're well.
Just that 510, turn right, heading 180. 180, just on 110.
And we'll do a reversal right about here so I can show my side back.
Just a 5 head go get. Just a 510, we got it sorted now. Just a 510, roger, thanks. You just maintaining normal status or declaring an emergency? We've got it all sorted so we can continue as normal. Just a 5 minute fix. 50 departures, Echo Foxtrot Yankee, heading 090, passing 1,800 on climb 3,000. Echo Foxtrot Yankee, departures identified. Echo Foxtrot Yankee. Echo Foxtrot Yankee, climb by supply to 5,000.
Sounds nice over there.
Climb 5,000, Echo Foxtrot Yankee.
What were you flying? The 150 again? Itty bitty sports plane. That goes 90 knots. So that's the Three Sisters.
Flight level
Blue Mountains.
280, cancel speed
I
restriction.
think we'll head down the valley.
Our requested altitude was flight level 220. Echo Foxtrot Yankee, apologies, climb flight level 220. Flight level 220, Echo Foxtrot Yankee. And should we maintain 090 heading? We're being vectored at the moment. Right, so Foxtrot Yankee, apologies, we have a navigation direct Cordo. Direct Cordo and climb flight level 220, Echo Foxtrot Yankee.
So sinking down into the valley, we're below the level of Katoomba now. And we'll contour fly through the valley.
So 510, left heading 150. That's 150, just a 510.
So we'll end up down near Warragamba Dam.
Sending departures, good evening, Qantas 1 at 1001 and climb 5,000.
Qantas 1, departures, good day, Dada Vods.
Pour some more power on. Get some more speed. And I was going to demonstrate the effect of overspeeding a helicopter, which is to say retreating blade stall. When that happens, you'll probably see the engine RPM or torque lifts quite a bit. Might even go into yellow range or red range. And the only way to get out of that is to slow down.
Director on 1268 small 1. Director on 1268 small 1 for jet now 510.
Coming up on the red, 149, 150, we're just about there. A little bit more, and now I've got an essentially uncontrollable turn to the left, sorry. So the only way to stop that turn is to pull out. If you actually yank the stick over to try and correct that left-hand bank, you will actually stall the blade and you'll actually flip over into the left. It's quite interesting.
Close 1, head frequency.
Go for corner front.
It's quite hard to do without,
Close 1,
descending.
Identified, cancel speed restrictions.
Cancel speed restriction.
I'll do another one.
Get further climb, corner front.
Nope.
And there it goes. And if I try to counter it using, stick,
One heavy,
it actually makes it worse.
280
You have to pull up. You don't want to be doing left and right in your stick. Pull up, collector down, slow down, and that'll stop the turn. So that's retreating blade stall. The blade that's recessing, going backwards, because the rotor only turns in one direction, and because you're flying so fast forwards, and that blade is going backwards, it's going backwards so you're moving through the air forwards while the blade is trying to retreat backwards. It stalls that side of the blade as while the blade is in that arc. So essentially the aircraft wants to flip over into the stalling side.
City departure flight 281, First departed 07, passing through 1,500 feet in left-hand turn, tracking 330.
Flight 31 departures, could I identify climb bus at 5,000?
556 to 5,000, flight up to 81.
This is Lake Burragorang, and the reason that Lake Burragorang exists is because Warragamba Dam is holding all the water.
Flight 280, we're actually directed Canaan, climb flight level 160.
Direct to Cadam, climb flight level 160, flight up to 81.
Now this is the interesting thing, you get these trees, then there's like this hard tree line, and below that is, you know, a very steep kind of unforested area. The reason that it looks like that is, you know, the dam level comes up and down at random depending on how much Sydney's using and how much rain's falling. Now I do know that Warragamba Dam filled up entirely and then overspilled in the first week of March 2021.
Okay, Foxtrot Yankee, connect center 1250, good day.
So very close now to
Echo Foxtrot Yankee.
to full. Not quite full, but you know, it was full a couple of months ago. There's been some random talk about extending the wall of Warragamba Dam, making it a bit taller, and you can see that this lake could fill up a little bit more if you really wanted to. I do wonder what it was like before they filled it up. That said, if you wonder what it would have been like before they filled it up, go ahead and look at the Colo River. That's essentially this, but further north, but without a dam. And some Woolamai pines somewhere in there. There's a reason why they keep the location of the Woolamai pines secret, and that's because there's a whole bunch of people called Sydney Waterboard that would love those trees not to exist. They could do this to the Colo River.
Plus 1, connect center 125.0, good day.
125.0, good day.
Departures Delta Golf Foxtrot through 2,600, climbing 3,000.
Delta Golf Foxtrot departures, good day, climb 5,000.
5,000, Delta Golf Foxtrot.
Delta Golf Foxtrot, identified. Delta Golf.
So yeah, this helicopter, I love it to bits. We've got retreating blade stall. We can do transitional lift. That's pretty easy to see. When you get slower, you'll need to add more power to remain aloft. And if you take off, you go all the way to maximum power. You barely climb, but if you start adding forward speed, then you'll start getting climb out of it. You almost have to back off on the power. So if you're going nice and quickly, say about 20 knots or so, and you get the enough lift from like the body and the wings going, the rotor going through the air, and the aircraft gains a bit more lift.
Delta Golf Foxtrot, say again. Delta Golf Foxtrot passing through 6,000.
I think it's most noticeable when you're coming into land. You need to like back off on collective to get yourself down, and then as you slow down to about 30, maybe 20 knots, you just lose all that lifting. You add a whole bunch more power to get to maintain the, you know, altitude. Clearly now, if we lost both engines, which would be, you know, disastrous, we'd just have to plug this aircraft. I'm not even sure if it'd want to go into the water, because that essentially, that'd be on the news. That'd be on the news so bad, because it'd be like contaminating Sydney's water supply. So it'd probably just crash into the trees and then deal with the injuries. Yeah, not the best idea. I was about to say, oh, you'd crash in the water, that'd be fine. No, it wouldn't be fine. That's Sydney's water there. To remove the temptation, I might actually come off.
Out of space device.
Okay, what we'll do when we get down to the Warragamba Dam is we'll follow the water, the water pipeline from Warragamba up to Prospect Reservoir. That puts us just outside of a place called Kennett Strip, aka St Mary's ALA, as it used to be called. And that should bring us to Prospect Reservoir, where we'll contact ATC again and let them know we're coming.
Dispatches, good day. Alcohol forward is everyone passing 1,400 heading 090.
Just do that, aid us again so if we can get it.
Oscar forward device.
Temperature 17. QNH 1016. On first contact with Sydney ground or approach, notify receipt of information Bravo.
Flight level 200, report passing 6,000.
Time check 1020.
Speed to flight level 200.
Sydney terminal information Bravo.
Oscar 4,
Expect
report passing
independent visual approach. Do not pass through assigned runway center lines. Runway 34 left and right for arrivals and departures.
We've got a Sydney 2 departures.
Parallel runway operations in progress. Independent departures in progress. Wind 040 degrees, 15 knots. Crosswind maximum 15 knots. Visibility greater than 10 kilometers. Cloud view 3,500 feet.
Warragamba Dam.
Temperature 17. QNH 1016. On first contact with Sydney ground or approach, notify receipt of information Bravo.
I'll let you guys see it on the other side. There you go, Warragamba Dam.
4 passing 6,000.
Before apologies, descent to 5,000, the separation.
Say again, North Coffle.
Oscar 4, descent to 5,000 for separation.
It's at 5,000 for separation, North Coffle.
Is that the pipeline there? I think it might be. Yes, it is. Cool, pipeline in sight. Just follow this to Prospect. Easy. Down at 1,500, might even dip under 1,500 when we approach Prospect.
Airborne, current flight heading 2,000, climbing to 5,000. Green Air 001 departures, g'day, identify, cancel speed restrictions. Cancel restrictions, Green Air 01. Oscar 4, climb 8,000.
Hello Valney,
Climb
Syncrate
8,000
and other people that are coming into the Twitch. Hope you're well and enjoying your lives. And if you're from Sydney, well, it's a pity you guys are in lockdown, but with any luck, you'll survive this unfortunate time and hope you enjoy your city still. Suggest, once you get out of lockdown in a month or two,
Delta Golf Foxtrot, contact Centre 125.
go to Bankstown and get either rent a plane or get someone to fly you around. That's what I suggest.
And KL001, sorry, just confirm you're tracking via the Fisher 8 departure.
Anyway, this is the water pipeline. Most of Sydney's water supply comes through these. Obviously from Warragamba Dam up to the Prospect Reservoir. In Prospect Reservoir is where it gets treated and then pumped into our water pipes.
Trans 001, climb by SID 8,000, no delay. Climb to 8,000, no delay, Crane 001. And Crane 001, just confirm you were tracking via the SID. Affirmative, Crane 001.
So with these water pipes, there's a...
methinks not.
As you can see on this thing here,
Am I going to the wrong
the Romeo 502, surface to 3,000. That's a restricted zone. I believe it has something to do with the Army. So the idea is just remain south of the pipeline and we should be fine. So we can do that now. And these are the buildings associated with that restricted area just coming up. And there's Kennett's Field.
Oscar 4, climb by SID to flight level 200 and re-clear direct Wollongong. Resume navigation.
Climb by C, flight level 200 band, re-clear to Wollongong then via pipeline route. Afterwards, resume all navigation course.
Oscar 4, apologies, it'll be Cordo.
And that's St. Mary's area up there.
Oscar 4.
Oscar, sorry, just need a read back. Direct Cordo, flight 100.
Direct to Cordo or Oscar 4, apologize.
Crane 001, climb by to flight level 280.
Flight level 280, Crane 001.
And Crane 001, sorry, just for future, with the Fisher 8 departure, you have to actually overfly Fisher, and then there's altitude restriction at Fisher, so you just kind of busted into all the arrival airspace.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The autopilot on. Copy that. Crane 001.
Sydney departure, flight up 281.
Okay, just squeeze down there. We want to move back towards, there it is, Prospect.
Flight up 281 departure.
Yeah, just had a request to go over to Melbourne Centre on 125.0.
Flight up 281, yeah, contact Melbourne Centre 1250, okay.
125.0, flight up 281.
There's a kind of a, what do we call it, acoustic node just down there that makes the blades get really, really loud. You keep out of that. Makes it noisy.
Departures, g'day, Tango for Whiskey on the ground at Bankstown, request clearance to Sydney.
Tango Alpha Whiskey, the clearance won't be available at this time. I can give you a squawk code, remain OCTA.
That's probably because of us.
Tango Alpha Whiskey, go ahead.
We'll get down to 1,100 just as we were before.
Tango Alpha Whiskey, code...
That'll keep us 300 feet below GA aircraft at 1,500.
Tango Alpha Whiskey, squawk 1422, no reported IFR traffic. Depart via Bankstown 8 departure, assigned heading 280.
Squawk 1422, assigned heading 280, Tango Alpha Whiskey.
So we don't need to talk to ATC until we pass Parramatta, at which point we need to be at 500 feet for Ryde Bridge, and then we'll make a request to enter the Romeo 405 Bravo at Harbour Bridge 500. Parramatta is up ahead. Ryde Bridge, that's the bridge I was trying to think of.
Zulu Golf India departure.
Zulu Golf India.
Zulu Golf India, will you be able to accept clearance to enter controlled airspace direct to Sydney at this time?
FM, Zulu Golf India, we're tracking via Parramatta, then Ryde. We would like to request entry into the Romeo 405 Bravo for a harbour circuit.
Zulu Golf India, roger. Just confirm your operating slide deck.
Affirmative, Zulu Golf India.
Zulu Golf India, roger. Clear to enter controlled airspace. On track direct to Romeo 405 Bravo, report officer please.
Fifth going to controlled airspace, Romeo 405 Bravo, Zulu Golf India.
And Golf India, not above 1,000.
Not above 1,000, Zulu Golf India. Down we go. So once we're at Parramatta itself, 1,000 feet, sorry, we'll capture the river, Parramatta River, and then head down all the way to the harbour. Cross the harbour bridge at 500, the south side of the bridge, and then climb to 1,000 feet inside the Romeo 405 Bravo. I think we'll do right-hand circuits. No, left-hand circuits, like an aeroplane. Yes, it is indeed Jake Saw controlling. He's good well, of course, because he's a real life controller.
Oscar 4, reach direct exit, Echo.
Okay, two things you want to do. Oh, you've caught the ferry down from Parramatta.
Calling Oscar 4.
Yeah, it's a good trip.
Oscar 4, roger, reclear direct Exeter.
Reclear direct
At Bride
to
Bridge, which is this one coming up, we need
Oscar.
about 500 feet. There we are, 500 set. And I'll slow it down as well because the river gets a bit bendy at times. Somewhere around 80 knots, maybe 70. There's my altitude. It's polite to stay on the left side of the river. So put the cockpit side to the right. That means other aircraft coming down the other side can do the same and we can pass each other with the river kind of in the middle of us. Speaking of the ferry, there is one right there. So we used a smidge of the autopilot today just to hold us in that hover outside the Three Sisters, only for a minute or two. I see, we're on the outside view.
Departures Tango Alpha Whiskey, departed Bankstown, time 35, passing 1,200, tracking 280.
This is all manual control, of course. It's a bit hard to fly this on autopilot. There's a note on the Ursa that
Tango Alpha
says,
Whiskey departures identified, verify them.
while we're operating in this area that we're in, the Romeo 405 Alpha, we need to be at below 500 feet. And there is terrain just to our north, which is at 700 feet.
3,000, step by Boulevard.
That is to say that
Climb 3,000,
there's some excavation equipment digging 200 feet underground, which is in controlled airspace. We'll go around this one. Very tempting to cut the corner on that one. But those are a bunch of
include anti-control airspace on heading 0 to runway 34.
very rich Karens live there. That's my suggestion, is just treat every house as a Karen.
Tango Alpha,
They will complain.
airspace on heading 070, runway 34 right, independent visual approach.
Clear to enter controlled airspace on
There's
070,
Gladesville Bridge.
expect 34 right, visual approach.
Actually, that's not Gladesville, is it? Or is it? I think it is. I need to remember the name of these bridges. Hello, New Skies. Hope you're well. More Karens over there. Good thing is the river's pretty wide at that point, so you can wave at the other helicopters coming back the other way. I have no idea where the Karen meme came from, but it's funny. Unless your name is Karen. Okay, there's a couple of things that happen pretty quickly from this point. Firstly, we need to cross over the southern pier of the Harbour Bridge. Pointing out that other aircraft coming the other direction also have to pass that exact same point. So, be on the lookout. And as we cross the Harbour Bridge, we need to both avoid the Opera House and also climb to 1,000 feet. So they're like 3 or 4 things.
Alpha Whiskey, control the airspace on climb to 5,000.
Tango Alpha Whiskey,
So I'm
climb
approaching
5,000.
on the correct shore, which is the right,
6,000.
left side.
6,000, Tango Alpha Whiskey.
Then we need to pass that southern pier, which is almost directly in line with the Opera House. Then we make a pretty hefty left-hand turn and climb, all at the same time. Coming up on the rocks, and we can see Circular Quay with a very nice cruise ship in there. I'm going to go between the pier and the hump of the bridge. And other aircraft going the other direction would be going over the top there. Now we make our turn. Big climb, big climb, big climb. Things are getting easier now. There's the City Conservatorium of Music right there. I spent a few years of my life inside that building playing trumpets. Woolloomooloo and the Navy base. Rose Bay.
Tango Alpha Whiskey, QNH 1016.
Vaucluse up there.
1016, Tango Alpha Whiskey.
That's 1,000. Overshot our altitude by nearly 200 feet. Let's get back down. And there we are. 1,000 feet is roughly where you want to be, maybe just a smidge under. Over the rich suburbs of Sydney. Multi-million-dollar houses down there. If we stay at 900 feet, we'll be quite happy. We'll come along over the top of Taronga Zoo, and places like Mossman. That's the zoo there. As I said, we'll come over the top of it. Animals don't complain about noise. Other than going squawk, squawk, squawk.
Oscar 4, connect to 125,
Over the Prime Minister's Kirribilli House. Say hello to Scott Morrison down there somewhere. I think he's up a bit further in this section. Neutral Bay, all those fun parts of North Sydney that I don't know particularly well.
Take Alpha Whiskey, verify level.
Tango, Alpha Whiskey, we're leveled off at 6,000.
Over the top of ScoMo.
Using 2020.
AFO.
That's it. Tango Alpha Whiskey, climb 6,500.
Are we that off?
Yep, contempt QNH 1016 as well.
We got one.
There's the Opera House and Circular Quay. We'll come back around and probably hover just in front of the Opera House. Just
the new update.
Apparently the update has broken the Airbus FBW. It's reading its altimeter some 500, 600 feet off.
Still got 50 departure.
I'm told it's mostly the A320, although I'm not sure if the CJ4 is affected as well.
Still Golf India Sydney departures.
Still Golf India.
Still Golf India to your estimated ops complete time, please.
Still Golf India, time 50.
Still Golf India, roger, thanks.
That gives us another 5 minutes so we can do a
Sydney
hover.
approach Virgin 766 Bravo, good evening, passing flight level 010.
Virgin 66 Bravo, Santa G'day, correction departures G'day identified, cancel speed restrictions below 10,000.
Looking quite cloudy and dark
Virgin
out there.
766 Bravo, cancel speed restriction.
That's Manly straight ahead, M-A-N-L-Y, Manly.
Tango Alpha Whiskey, turn right heading 160.
Right heading 160, Tango.
Gonna zoom in at the heads and take a look at Manly. Quite a big area of bushland around Manly, and inside that, like the mound, the hill where the trees are, There's the old Sydney quarantine station.
766 Bravo, sorry, just confirm you're tracking Bishop.
1800s, early 1900s.
Negative, I'm tracking Ancub.
There's 66 Bravo, cancel Sid, turn left, heading 060.
Cancel Sid, turn left, heading, what was that again?
060.
060.
City departures, hello, New Zealand 864, passing 2,700, 5,000.
So there is the original quarantine station for Sydney.
Departures, g'day, identified. New Zealand 864.
So if you came to Sydney in the late 1800s, they would have stuck you in there to check you for various diseases.
Singapore 7298,
There's a chapel down there as well, right there. Poor old Adam can't land the... Actually on Xbox, that's an interesting experience that I wouldn't mind giving a try.
Turn right, heading 100.
See how you can land
right, heading 100.
anything using an Xbox controller. I've got no idea how you'd even manage that. Seven, 8, 9, 10. I've got 3 minutes to get back to Sydney Harbour.
And New Zealand 864, 5,000 requests further climb. New Zealand 864, stand by.
Okay, we need to be at Sydney Harbour Bridge in 2 minutes, and then we'll call Ops normal, and we'll fly to the Erskineville backwards, fly over the Stanford Hotel, and into the helipads. I choose Sydney because of this wonderful scenery, not just Sydney itself, but also the add-on from Orbx, which improves the situation around Sydney quite remarkably. Yeah, that sounds like a pain. Much rather the PC version. I've got like a stick, I've got the you know, throttle quadrant with 6 controllers on it, full range of motion there. I've got rudder pedals under my feet as well. It's very useful for this kind of aircraft. We'll need to have 120.5 ready to go. Let's go to aircraft options. There it is. Make sure it's in. 1205.
Virgin 766 Bravo. Climb flight level 280.
1 minute.
Climb flight level 280. Virgin 766 Bravo.
1864 climb.
We are now a westbound helicopter, so we need to be on the left side of the road.
New Zealand 864. So 864, just confirm making your right hand turn direct. Sorry.
We'll come to a hover at Fort Denison, which is that little thing there, just going to the pitot probe.
And New Zealand 864 confirm, we clear direct Invon. New Zealand 864 negative. Sorry, say again.
As we hit 30 knots, you need to increase power to maintain altitude.
New Zealand 864, reclear direct to Avon or zero navigation. Reclear direct Avon, New Zealand 864, thanks.
Sea departure Zulu Golf India at Fort Denison, requesting entry into the Erskineville 5 arrival.
Departures Singapore 798, we're on the Richmond 5. Just confirm, as per the clearance, we're going to receive radar vectors.
30 frames a second, yeah.
Singapore 7298, just stand by. Just trying to get your flight plan departed, but it appears to be playing hard to get. 1 second.
Understood, 7298.
Manual hovering is a pain.
Virgin 766 Bravo, reclear direct for Wollongong. Resume our navigation.
Clear. Virgin 766 Bravo, clear direct for Wollongong, resume navigation.
City departure Zulu Golf India is at Harbour Bridge, requesting landing into Sydney by the Erskineville 5 rail.
Whoever's calling departures has an awful feedback in their microphone. So fix it so you can.
Departure Singapore 7298. We're at Richmond now. Can we have a heading, please?
Singapore 7298, reclear direct Richmond.
Say again, waypoint, Singapore 7298.
Resume, reclear direct Richmond, resume our navigation.
And Singapore 7298, we are at, or actually we're 2 miles to run on Richmond now, Singapore 7298.
Singapore 7298, turn right heading 090.
Right heading 090, Singapore 7298.
Zulu Golf India at Harbour Bridge, requesting landing at Sydney by the Erskineville 5.
Zulu Golf India, remain OCTA, will advise.
Zulu Golf India.
And departure Singapore 7298. We're through flight, we're passing through 15,000 feet with no cleared altitude. Just confirm cleared flight level 350.
Singapore 7298, climb by flight level 280, heading 090.
Flight level 280 heading 090, Singapore 7298.
Well, bad things happen. They get very angry and they make you write a report in the real world. And here they'd probably just be mad. There are suspensions. Okay. We're not flying in the rain, but anyway. They do indeed look pretty good, don't they? I have seen choppers do this in Sydney when I was living in Sydney.
Singapore 7298, apologies, reclear direct.
I never thought I'd end up actually having to do it.
Eagle on flight plan route, Singapore 7298, thanks.
It's that weird runway configuration they got happening in Sydney. They're landing on 1034 over Botany Bay, but they're taking off over Sydney.
Whiskey, if you haven't already, contact director 126 Whiskey.
There's Old Sydney, Kirribilli House down there somewhere. Which one is it? Where's ScoMo's house? I do believe it's the one on the corner, so it'll be down in here. I think it's that one. That's Kirribilli House there. Correct, Adam. We've got a freeware Melbourne, but they haven't done this to it. It's kind of, if you get down low like this, it's pretty sad looking. It's very sad looking. Hopefully they release a product for us at some point.
Zulu Golf India, contact tower 120, that's on 5 clearance.
120, that's a 5, Zulu Golf India.
And it's really feedback in trend.
Sorry about that. Don't know what's going on. Ah, I have a funny feeling.
Correct 42, expect flight landing clearance.
Expect flight landing clearance, correct 42.
Sydney Tower, Zulu Golf India helicopter is at Sydney Harbour Bridge inbound by the Erskineville 5. Request land a helipad.
Zulu Golf India, track direct for the pad, report 3 miles.
Track for the pad and report 3 miles, Zulu Golf India. Okay, we can move forward.
Sydney Tower, good day, Qantas 1580 heavy with you after 600.34 left.
Qantas 1580, runway 34 left, line up and weight, be ready immediate.
34 left, line up and weight, be ready for immediate, Qantas 1580 heavy.
Said we need to descend to 500 feet and cross the left side of the pier. Gotta throw that away because you don't need it.
Qantas 1580, keep it rolling, contact partners airborne, runway 34 left, cleared immediate takeoff.
Cleared immediate takeoff, 34 left over to departures airborne, Qantas 1580.
Now I would show you the arrival route, but it's the same as we got here in the first place, in reverse. And it's a little bit hard to see the chart while you're trying to fly it at the same time. But suffice to say, we grab 500 feet over the water, make sure to miss Burragorang, because that building is 800 feet tall. We fly down Darling Harbour, which is that body of water straight ahead. Once we hit the bottom of the Darling Harbour, we climb to 1,000 feet, straight through that gap in the buildings, and then follow the runway.
Runway 34 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 34 left, correct 42.
Once we're following the runway, we look out for the Stamford Hotel, and then track straight at it, and then after that, the helipad should be straight ahead. Darling Harbour, right down there. Including the convention centre right there. Okay, we're past Darling Harbour, we start that climb to 1,000. That there is Central Railway Station, and we're following the tracks. There's that beautiful clock right there. There's Central Railway Station. There's a bunch of weird flyovers here, and then Redfern train station right here. The Sydney ATP, where the Sydney Conservatorium of Music was for the first 2 years when I was studying there. We continue flying along. Here are the stabling yards for Sydney trains. And then Erskineville is that line that shoots off to the left. I think one of the reasons they get us to fly over the top of the railway is because the railway is noisy and so are we. So keep all the noise into one place.
Zulu Golf India, clear to land, traffic is a Cessna 208 on final 10 miles, 34 right.
Good land helipads and cover the traffic, Zulu Golf India.
Tower, good day, Tango Whiskey, visual 34 right.
Tango Alpha, Whiskey Sydney Tower, runway 34 right.
And the helipad
traffic
is
a helicopter on 2 miles to the eastern pad.
34 right, clear to land, copy traffic, Tango.
Stamford Hotel is spotted. That's that thing there. Remember when we came out, man, we were to the left of Stamford and we're still on the left of Stamford. That means we don't hit anyone coming out. Now we transition into the landing. Yep, Sydney is indeed in lockdown. Poor guys. Sydney is just like Melbourne was last year. Going through the same thing. It's almost like someone didn't learn from our mistakes. I think that's a political statement. Let's keep them as few and far between as we can. You can feel that transition lift just go away as we slow down. You have to pour on a bunch more collective.
Target A, corner 7349 ready.
Corner 7349, target A.
Okay, according to TAL, we have touched down at the helipad. You don't actually need to touch the ground. And we need to go back and park at position 8.
Corner 7349, contact the passengers airborne, runway 34 left, please take off.
34 left, cliff take
Yep,
off, corner 7349.
everything is a mod. The helicopter is a freeware modification. If you're using the Xbox version, I'm not sure you can get mods. But PC version you certainly
Melbourne
can.
requesting after clearance.
It's the H135 helicopter.
Double Romeo Sierra, contact ground 126.5.
And you can pick that up from flightsim.to for free. Just download it, chuck the folders into your community folder, and you're done. I feel like I'm a little bit too high. Let's come back down a bit. How high can this thing climb? Maybe 10,000 feet. It's not pressurized. After 10,000 feet it's illegal to not have oxygen. It's just a legal requirement. It's not really a physical requirement. I think the helicopter itself would get somewhere into the mid-teens, maybe 16,000, but you'd be pushing it. Today we went to about 4,000 feet maximum altitude. Yeah, it's a realistic helicopter. It's very realistic, actually, I'd say. Has all of the things that helicopters do, like retreating blade stall if you're flying too fast. Transitional lift as you pass through about 20 knots, up to 30 knots. All the effects that you'd expect. You need a lot of rudder pedal to hold steady here. Come down about there.
Sydney target ARX 1816, final 34 left.
Rex 1816, Sydney target A.
Settling it into the ground. And relaxed. So now that we're on the ground, we'll just reduce that to idle. And then...
Tango Alpha Whiskey, taxi mode, Tango and Lima.
Going to disconnect the controller so I don't have to listen to them. And transfer that in. Up to the overhead, we're going to discontinue these things, leave the standby in. Pumps in for the moment. Pitot heat off. Back to here, and we're going to shut down the engines. The logbook of doom. Continue. Thank you very much. I wish that didn't come up right then. Going to go back to the overhead, turn off our fuel pumps. Don't need the strobes on anymore. We need the other lights on until all of that moves. I'm going to take the cabin lights out and the instrument lights. The exit lights are going to remain in. And I'm going to open up some doors. Hopefully the sim hasn't crashed. It might have. Something's going on here. Yep, sim has crashed. Oh well. Yay. Boop. We got to the ground anyway. So that was the H135 helicopter. That's the first time I've crashed the sim, but I have heard that a lot of people have been having issues with it. But that's cool. We got back to Sydney. I'm not sure what we'll be doing over the week, but certainly I think Friday night ops is Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. They're doing Salt Lake City and that kind of thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour of Sydney, Katoomba, Warragamba Dam, Sydney Harbour, back into the city. I've been Mr. Xavier. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.